Hello, everybody that's on YouTube, and welcome to Arsenal TV. I am joined by two special guests tonight. I'm joined by DJ. How are you, mate?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
That's good. And I'm also joined by much Arsenal, Colin. How are you?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Got myself a new job. Granted, it's giving me the sort of nightmares where I'm waking up at 5 a.m, so my brain's all over the place. So just bear with us if I get something wrong here, but I'm knackered, so it may come to that.
That's absolutely fine, mate. Don't worry about it. All right, guys, on today's show, we are going to be talking about the thoughts of Unai Emery and what we think about him after taking over from Arsene Wenger. We're going to be talking about the past 4 Premier League games, which is going to be the Man City, Chelsea, Cardiff, and West Ham game. And we're also going to be talking about the new signings and whatever else is going around Arsenal Football Club. And we're also going to be talking about the upcoming game, which is a weekend against Newcastle United away from home. So, Colin, I'm actually going to come to you first, mate. What's been your thoughts on Unai Emery this season so far?
Do you know what? Given what he's got, which if anyone is watching the games, they'll tell you that this is a bang average side in every sense of the word. But what he's done, and this is what he's done over the last 4 games, he's incorporated a never say die attitude into the squad. And we never had that under Arsene Wenger. So in that aspect, I can see progression. Are there defensive lapses? Of course. Of course. You'd have to be blind not to notice them. But there's more positives than negatives. And I do feel that Mustafi's improving. I mean, I, for one, have been backing this guy to the hilt. But Emery is kind of getting something else out of him. And for me, he's been the better of the 2 centre-halves. But what Emery's also done, not only has he given a never say die attitude to the players, but for some reason he's still on Twitter. I don't know how long that's gonna last.
Do you agree with the new style of play that he's trying to inflict to the team as playing from the back?
I do. I think he should stick with it. Because Gary Neville made the brilliant point that if you try and switch it up, like just go long ball and whatnot, it confuses every player in that dressing room. And it happened at Valencia to him. So it stands to reason that could happen with Unai Emery with this Arsenal side. He should stick with it, but if he makes subtle changes by bringing Leno in, although I can understand sticking with Czech. I can understand it. He's been in good form, bar the Cardiff game. And he's going with experience over, say, a new keeper coming into the league in Leno. And that's kind of the wise thing because if you remember, Liverpool threw Karius in there and that didn't work out too well for them. So I can sort of see why he's done that. To be fair, I mean, Czech's only really had 1 bad game this season. He's not done too much wrong in the other games that we've played. It's more down to the fact that the defense is fucking up for, the goals that we've conceded before Cardiff. So, yeah, I can see why he's gone with Czech. I really can. But there's nothing but positives to look for, lads. That's all the season is about, because you're going to see a lot of chopping and changing this season. At least.
Oh yeah, exactly, 100%. We are going to see a lot of different changes. But I actually think the way Unai Emery is going, I think the only reason why he's gone for Czech for the past couple of games is because probably because of Premier League experience, maybe because Leno has never played in the Premier League. So I think that's the only option that I think he's gone with. Czech to go in goal for the majority of the time.
Yeah, and to be honest, Richard, I can see why he's doing it.
Yeah, I can as well.
Because you don't want to throw Leno into the Premier League and just have him being another Karius, because what people have said to me, and this is people that are unfamiliar with Leno. They don't want him to be another Karius.
Mm.
And I can see why they would think that he would be, because he's not really been tested in a tougher league. Because let's be honest, the Bundesliga, Bayern dominate that league. They do. If they want you, you're there.
So when do you reckon would be the best time to actually throw Leno in?
Do you know what I'm thinking? I
actually thought Cardiff would have been a good chance to throw him in.
Yeah, I thought that as well, which is why I put him in my starting 11. But I wouldn't put him in against Newcastle. Do you know what? I would put him in against Brentford.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking as well.
Just to ease him into it, and then gradually you could build him up to speed with the Premier League. I do think Leno will play at least a couple of league games this season.
Yeah.
But it'll be the ones that you would expect us to win, such as your Huddersfields, your Brightons, teams like that. But he may also feature in the Europa League as well. There's a lot of football to be played, and players will get game time. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah. DJ, I'm just going to come to you. What's been your thoughts of Unai Emery?
I'm very pleased with him. And I like his tactics as well. I'm not a fan of playing from the back, to tell the truth.
So do you feel that that we are going in the right direction to improve the team?
Yes, we are.
Do you see any, Colin, this is also for you, mate. Do you see any downside at the moment apart from defensive?
Downside. Do you know what? I was kind of hoping this wouldn't pop up, because I've been avoiding this subject very much so, because I don't want to be that guy that just
negative.
that just shits on things for no reason. That doesn't mean I've changed, though. It just means I'm seeing more positives than negatives. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But if there's one thing, and I've mentioned this before, it's not even a negative; it's more just an observation. Emery's substitutions seem to be correcting the mistakes made in the first half of games.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not a criticism of Unai Emery before someone jumps on that. All that is an observation, right? Because you notice when we bring Torreira on, look how better we look. Look how much better we are. Right? And I don't mean to, stroke my own ego here, but I'm the one that's been saying how good Torreira is since we signed him.
Do you know what, to be honest, with Lucas Torreira, I was actually quite pleased with him over the World Cup as well. And I kind of thought that is a player that we've been missing for a long time in that defensive midfield. Yeah, we've got to sign him. And luckily enough, we got him.
Yeah, the thing is, Richard, though, people have this misconception about Torreira. He's not an out-and-out defensive midfielder. He's not. What he is, though, is like a Kante. Remember how gutted Arsenal fans were that we missed out on Kante? Because I was.
I remember that.
We've got a player very similar to Kante and Lucas Torreira. So there you go.
That's very true. Okay, guys, I'm just going to get your thoughts actually on the past 4 games that we've played, which was Man City, Chelsea, West Ham, and Cardiff. So, Colin, I'm going to take you through the Man City game. What was your first thoughts of the Man City game?
Do you know what? We weren't actually that bad. I've seen a few people criticize the performance. I don't see how you can. Man City are the best team in the league, without question. I mean, there's no denying that. but we played okay. I mean, yeah, okay, we could have done better, but that's not to say we done bad. You know, there's a couple of bright spots in that performance. The only negative thing that I took away from that game was the injury to Maitland-Niles, which was unfortunate because I rate that kid I rate that kid so much. Like, and to think that he carried on playing with an injury, my God. I mean, if that don't tell you enough about Maitland-Niles' attitude, then, bro, nothing will. Nothing will. But the thing is, we had to take that loss into context. Emery inherited a crap Arsenal team that still has Wenger's stench on it. And all of a sudden, people are thinking, oh, because we've got a new manager, we're expected to sweep aside the best team in the league. No, it doesn't work like that. There's a lot of kinks that still need working out with this Arsenal team. And the majority of those kinks that were in there showed themselves in the Man City game. That's the way I look at it. I don't look at it in like black and white of, oh, this is bad, oh, this is shit, oh, this is good, oh, this is shit. No, you got to take it into a bit of context. Man City, best team in the league. We're still getting the kinks out of our system that we had from the previous manager, but there were a few bright spots as well. For instance, Mustafi didn't do too bad. I mean, he was actually one of the better players on the pitch, if you ask me. But Bellerin, I mean, seriously,
yeah, I know you're Colin. I know you're mentioning about Bellerin right now. The only thing that frustrates me, I don't see him as a right back. I see him as a winger.
Thank you. That's what I've been saying for weeks. I mean,
Joe Spears. The only thing that frustrates me because every time the ball goes over his head, he doesn't seem to get it. He doesn't seem to get it back as he used to. Whereas as a winger, he's got that pace and he can get past the first player now. That final man.
Do you know
it's his
why
pace
he's not
that
a right
can
back,
do
mate?
it.
Mate, do you know why he's not a right back? Because he keeps cutting inside. Have you noticed
exactly.
that? Have you noticed that? He keeps on cutting. When he gets to that final third, he cuts inside. And I'm like, you're a right back, mate. Don't cut inside. Like, what the fuck, man? That's basic ABC defending now.
Yeah.
As a right back, you don't cut inside. You leave that to the wingers. But another problem that Bellerin has, and this is a problem he's had for years, he doesn't know when to go and when not to go.
True, yeah.
Finally, someone says it. Yeah, it's true. He doesn't.
You notice when he gets the ball, right? His first instinct is go forward.
Yeah.
Go forward.
That's his first instinct. When he loses the ball, he's like, oh, I lost the ball now. No joke. That's what he does. Like, it's so annoying. And people put that all on Mkhitaryan or Ozil, not tracking back. Listen, Bellerin is played in a right-back role currently.
For God knows how long. He's playing that for ages.
For years.
Right? He has been playing as a right-back for Arsenal since 2014. Let me repeat myself so people didn't, understand that. 2014. If you haven't gotten to grips with the role of a right back in 4 years, you should not be there.
Of course.
So what do you reckon? So guys, what do you reckon Unai Emery should do? Do you reckon he should try and put Bellerin in a in that right wing position and then put Lichtsteiner as a right back?
Do you know what? I'd be all for that. But the thing is, right, even when you're a winger, right, sometimes you have to, do a defensive job. And Lichtsteiner can, he can do the defensive job, but if Bellerin doesn't help him out, he's going to be left in no man's land. You know?
That's true.
I mean, Lichtsteiner's quality, but he's one man. Like, you can't ask Lichtsteiner to do everything for him. But one problem that we also have is there's no balance in the midfield as well. Because you notice when we play Xhaka and Guendouzi, and do you know what? Xhaka was playing well up until that point where he gave the ball away.
That's true.
But he always does that.
Do you know what, to be honest, I actually thought that he played better in the second half, actually, to be honest.
Well, he got an assist for the goal, so do you know what? The only thing I would say, right, if we're gonna playing out from the back, and we should do that, by the way, Xhaka's key to that because there's no one else that offers that penetration in the final third. Ramsey doesn't.
No, Ramsey doesn't. I agree with that.
Ramsey doesn't. He just bombs forward like a headless chicken.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know what when he gets the ball. His first instinct is, okay, I'll go forward, not thinking we might lose the ball in transition.
Yeah. So do you reckon he's better off playing with Torreira then as starting 11?
Yeah, I think Torreira should be. I mean, we're not going to play two up front as much as I want it. I think what we're going to see is a two-man midfield, and I think Torreira and Xhaka should be in that because Torreira can cover the space when Xhaka goes forward, but Xhaka won't go forward all the time. He's not like a Ramsey that just bombs forward aimlessly, doesn't understand what he's doing. And besides that, the three in front of them, that's where the balance is key. Because we can't play Ramsey, Mkhitaryan, and Ozil in the same side. It just does not work. Because none of them track back. None of them.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Ozil's been doing it the last few games. I'll admit that. But Mickey has not helped Bellerin in any way whatsoever.
Nope.
And Ramsey, well, he just goes forward, doesn't he? Like he's just thinking, okay, I'll go forward then. But I get our system. I don't know what you lads think, but to me, it feels like a 4-4-2 with Aubameyang sort of drifting in from the left side and sort of creating that space for Lacazette to run onto.
Yes, it does. It does.
And with that, you have the number 10 sort of drifting out wide to cover the space. And sometimes you'd have the centre forward drop deep to cover that space as well. But the thing is, we have to have the right players to play the system that we're playing.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And I'm not convinced that the players that we have at the moment fit that. I don't think Ozil does, but
there is rumours, isn't there, that Ozil was supposed to be going to another team?
To Fenerbahce, 40 million.
Oof.
Yeah.
14 million.
42, sorry.
That's exactly. That was, if I'm not mistaken, guys, that was exactly how much we paid for him, didn't we? 42 mil?
40.5.
Yeah, we paid 42.5 for him, Richard. But
yeah.
So in that respect, we'll have lost like 500,000.
Which is okay. Plus the wages.
Do you know what? I don't know why anyone would sign Ozil anyway. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I don't rate him, but he doesn't fit the system. He doesn't.
Nope.
Like, he's not.
Do you feel he's got the wrong players beside him?
Mate, he's had that problem for years. Like, at first, people were saying, "Oh, it's the strikers we've got in front of him." You know, you give him a pacey forward, he'll bag assists left and right. He's got two of the best finishers in the league, and Aubameyang and Lacazette in front of him.
Yep.
And he hasn't
Because-
done shit this season.
Of course, no, nothing at all.
Did you guys not notice that in the Chelsea game that Mesut Ozil was playing more defensively than he was more attacking?
Yeah, he was. He was.
I did notice that, but the thing is, Ozil's meant to be our linchpin in that team. And as much as look, I'm not saying I don't rate him because I do, but it's whether or not he fits the system, and I'm not convinced he does. I'm not convinced he does at all, because if he wants to play in this system, and Emery's already shown this, that he's not going to take any shit from him.
Nah.
That's true, yeah.
He's subbed
great.
him off twice.
Yeah.
So Ozil's going to have to put a lot more work in right now. A lot more. Because he's just strolling around like, oh, you know what, I'm Mesut Ozil. I can get away with what I want. I got away with it under the previous manager. Emery's shown that isn't the case.
No way.
So Colin, as an overall thought on the past 4 games, what's your thoughts on all 4 of them combined?
Okay. Man City wasn't too bad. Yeah, we lost 2-0, but the overall performance was better than I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea was better because we at least showed fight. And on another day, we could have won that. So that's positive. I look from that. West Ham, okay, started shaky, but got into it, and Pellegrini's sort of tactical naivety cost West Ham the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I believe so too.
And Cardiff, I think every Arsenal fan underestimated Cardiff a little bit.
True.
Yeah, I actually put Cardiff as a relegation team for this season.
Yeah,
Me too as well.
I'll admit it right now. I thought we would beat them 4-0. I really did.
Yeah.
Do you know what I based that off on, right? The quality of players that we have, the quality of players that they have, the manager they've got, and the fact that they're new to the league.
Yeah.
That's why I thought we'd beat them 4-0. Now, Cardiff's shown more in that they've shown that they can dig in and try and get a result. They've got a heart about them. If they get goals on that team, they'll stay up.
True.
Yeah, that is true.
Simple as that. But my overall thoughts of the game, well, the game's four games. There's been positives. There's some improvement to be had, but still a long way to go yet.
Yeah, so under Unai Emery, how many years do you think you would give him?
Do you know what? I'd give him 4 years.
Because I believe the contract that's been given to Unai Emery is 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
The contract
years.
length for him.
Yeah.
5 years.
The way I would say it, or the thing is, right, the way I can sort of vision it in my head, within the next 2-3 years, it's getting players out and getting us in a position where we're able to compete again. And during those 3 years, I expect us to make top 4 at least once.
Yeah, at least.
At least once. The next 2 years, if we have given him a 5-year contract, is to sort of push us on to the point where we're able to challenge for a title. Not win it necessarily, just get up there and challenge. And if we can challenge for the title, by all means, give Emery a contract extension and, see if he can win it.
True.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so DJ, I'm now going to come to you. What's been your thoughts on the past 4 games of Arsenal?
I've been very pleased. Our City were unlucky. We won against Chelsea. West Ham was okay. And Cardiff were very, very tricky against them. I've been very good, I think.
Yeah, you know what, guys, I think for me, the Man City game, I was kind of expecting us to lose, really.
Yeah.
Because the way Man City has been last season. Chelsea game, I was quite pleased to actually see some fight for once. The West Ham game, first half was a bit shaky for us. I thought we was a bit shaky defensively. Going forward, I didn't thought we was too bad. We created some chances, which there were some chances I thought we should have buried, really.
True.
Yep.
You were.
But the Cardiff game, Cardiff, they did surprise me. I actually thought we wasn't going to win that game, really, when they scored the equaliser.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
Whoa,
when they scored the equaliser, I thought, oh, this is going to be a bit shaky for us now.
Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is, though? That's like that's the remnants of last season. Do you know? That's like a hangover from when you're on a night out and you just come home drunk. That's what that is.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I was actually quite surprised the way Cardiff showed some fight against us, and it's our first away win under Unai Emery.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's a good sign. So guys, I'm actually gonna get your thoughts on the new signings that we made. Colin, I'm gonna come to you first, mate. What's been your thoughts on the new signings so far?
Well, we haven't seen that much of Leno, so we can't really make a formal judgment on that.
So what about if you say Leno as in pre-season? When he played the game in pre-season, what did you make of him then?
He was okay. I mean, he's adjusting to a new team, so natural. Like that's going to take time, regardless. But he did okay. You know, nothing spectacular, but he didn't do anything wrong either. Lichtsteiner, I love him all. I love this guy. I really do. I've been watching him for years, even when, because when Juve brought on Lichtsteiner in the Champions League last season, he nullified Harry Kane.
Yeah,
nullified him, and it was brilliant to watch. It really was, and that shows why he got in Allegri's starting 11 so much. You know, like if he's okay, people have made comments about he's 34 and he's past it, and I'm like, nah. You haven't been watching him.
Age is just a number.
Exactly. You haven't been watching him long enough. If you think if you think his age is going to be a problem. Thing with Lichtsteiner, he uses his brain. So there you go. Socrates, yeah. To be honest, I'm kind of 50-50 on that one. He's done okay, but Cardiff wasn't his best game, if I'm honest. In fact, I actually think Mustafi's been better than him the last two games, to be honest. Torreira, do you know what? Torreira's fantastic. He's amazing. I love the guy already.
So what have you made of Guendouzi?
Impressive. You know what? How old is he? 19?
Yeah, he's 19 years old, yeah.
Yeah. He's adapted so well for a 19-year-old kid. And he was our player of the month, actually.
Yes, he was. Yeah, he was the August player of the month.
Yeah.
So that's good stuff for him. And you know what? I hope he kicks on from this. But from what I've seen of him the last couple of games, I've noticed that his performances have started to dip. Now, that's not a criticism of him. That's him being a young kid. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's definitely going to happen.
It happens to every young player. It happened to Alex Iwobi, who, by the way, has been brilliant when he's come on, by the way.
Yeah, he has been pretty awesome. He has put a decent shift in.
Yeah, but overall, I'm liking the new signings. I wouldn't be surprised if we made more in January, though. I'm expecting at least one centre half in January. Maybe we look at the Vida deal again, because I think that had legs to it. But we'll have to wait and see, because this ain't going to be fixed over one window. This is going to take like 3 or 4, possibly 5. So
it's that time again where we're going to be rebuilding again.
Yeah. But unlike our previous manager, this rebuild might actually be successful.
True.
That is true. DJ, what's been your thoughts on the new signings this season?
I've only seen Leno play against Lazio. That's the only game I've seen play. This time I'm very pleased with him. Doherty is 50-50 like Colin. Torreira has been very good. So I saw it's Guendouzi as well.
That's cool. Colin, what's been your thoughts on Aubameyang playing up front as a leading striker? Do you think he's better off with Lacazette up front, or?
Do you know what? I'm thinking. I want to see the two of them play up front, right? But here's the thing: the style of play and the formation that Emery wants to build on, that's never going to happen. So you got to put one out to the wing. For me, the logical option is Aubameyang, because he's played out in the wing before. I've not seen enough of Lacazette on the wing to make a judgment on it. But for me, Lacazette should be up front and Aubameyang should be on the wing, because Aubameyang's pace will cause teams a lot of problems down the flanks.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think for Aubameyang playing out on the left, I think that is where he's most effectively.
True.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because we're not blessed with a lot of wingers. In fact, the one natural winger we had has gone on loan to Hoffenheim.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reece Nelson.
So, yeah, can't say I'm too happy with that, because I'm not. But Aubameyang's pace will cause teams problems. And I think we've just got to play the right player on the other side as well. For me, that's either Bellerin, and I can't believe I'm saying these words, but it might be Danny Welbeck.
Yeah.
See, personally for me, I think I would probably go with Bellerin.
Yeah, I can see why you would go for Bellerin, because his pace.
But then I would say Danny Welbeck because of his crossing.
Yeah, the only thing about Welbeck, the reason why I've gone with Welbeck ahead of Bellerin, right? It's nothing to do with pace or his crossing, right? See if we're up against it and Lichtsteiner's struggling. Welbeck will track back.
And yes, strength as well.
Exactly. Defensively, Welbeck is sound. He just can't score.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. All right, guys. All right, so guys, we're gonna talk about the Newcastle game, which is this weekend. DJ, I'm gonna come to you first. What are you expecting from Arsenal against Newcastle away from home?
I'm hopeful for a solid performance. I will win 2-1. It'll be very difficult in Newcastle. Tyneside, very difficult. But I think win 2-1. It may be very tight defensively. It'll be good for us.
Cool. And I'm also going to ask you, DJ, what would be your starting 11 for the Newcastle game?
Leno, Listana, Doherty and Mustafi, and Morial, and Torreira, and Guendouzi, Ozil, and Aubameyang, and Lacazette.
Okay, cool. And what would be your predicted? What you say your predicted score was 2-1.
1 year. I reckon they'll score against us. Definitely.
Okay, cool. Colin, I'm now going to come to you, mate. So exactly the same for you. What are you expecting for the Newcastle game this weekend?
I'm expecting them to do exactly what they did against City and Chelsea. Surrender possession of the ball, hit us on the break. We're going to have to nullify the threat of Ritchie and Kennedy down the wings. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a problem for us, because Rafa Benitez has got no problem in surrendering possession to get a result. And it should be told, they didn't do that bad against City and Chelsea. Only by the referee's massive fuck-ups did they lose the game against Chelsea.
Yep.
And City, they showed grit, you know, and for me, look, I feel sorry for Rafa Benitez. I really do. Like, how he's a quality manager. He really is. He's absolute quality. And you know what? Newcastle, in a way, are a victim of how good he is. Because Mike Ashley is probably sitting there in his nice comfy chair thinking, oh, you know what? Rafa's good. I don't need to spend any money. He'll keep us in the Premier League. That's good enough for me. Like, after all this time, Mike Ashley has still not learned.
Nope.
They've been relegated. They've been relegated twice, and he's still not learned.
Not at all.
Like, that's why I feel sorry for Newcastle fans. Fucking hell. You think our problems with Arsene Wenger are bad? Fucking hell. That puts it into a whole new perspective, man. Jeez.
All right, Colin, I'm going to give you what's your starting 11 for the Newcastle game?
Okay, well, in goal, I'm sticking with Czech. Back for Lichtsteiner, Socrates, Mustafi, and Monreal. Mainly because you can't change it because there's no one else you'd rather put in there, is there?
Not really.
Torreira starts for me alongside Granit Xhaka. The right side's a problem. I don't know who I'm going to pick for that. I'm going to go with Danny Welbeck instead of Bellerin. The number 10, I don't know. I'm going to go with Mickey in the number 10, actually. Aubameyang on the left and Lacazette up front.
That actually sounds a decent lineup, actually. All right, Colin, what's going to be your predicted score for the Newcastle game this weekend?
It'll be a 2-1 or 1-0.
Just remember, Newcastle got problems as well because they said they, you know, for the away fans, they no longer can put anyone at the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know if they've done it yet.
Well, don't be surprised if you see another protest before the game on their part.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. Wouldn't be surprised. All right, guys, I'm going to give you my one for the Newcastle game. I'm hoping for a decent, solid performance like we done against Chelsea, to be quite honest. And obviously for us, show some fight. I expect that from every game. I expect if Ozil's going to play, I expect him to turn up. Definitely. My starting 11 would probably be Czech in goal. Lichtsteiner at right back. Socrates and Mustafi, 2 centre-backs. Left back, Monreal. I don't see it because we've got literally no other choice but to put him there. The 2 holding defenders, I'm going to go with Torreira and Xhaka because I think those 2 team up really well with each other. And then as the 3, I'll probably go with probably on the right, I'll probably go with Bellerin. Bellerin on the right, Ozil in the middle, Aubameyang out on the left, and Lacazette up front. And my predicted score, I'm going to go 3-2.
Ooh, another one. I don't need that.
Arsenal, yeah.
I don't need that in my life, no.
I'll probably go with 3. That's what I think. I can see Newcastle scoring goals against us. I can see it.
Look, so can I. Like the only reason I've gone with Welbeck right ahead of Bellerin, right, is the threat down the wings, right? And if Kennedy is on Bellerin's side and he gets past him,
then we've got a problem.
True.
He's not helping Lichtsteiner, is he?
Not really, no.
So that's why I've gone with Welbeck, because I feel against Newcastle we need some sort of protection down the wings, because that's where most of the counterattacks that go against us come from. So that's why I've gone with Welbeck. I think he's a better option than Bellerin. Bellerin's not playing that well.
That is actually quite true. Very, very true. All right, guys. I'm actually going to get your thoughts, actually. How far do you reckon we're going to get in Europa League this season?
We're going to win it.
We can win it. Definitely win it.
The only thing that would worry me, right, is the caliber of teams that will drop in, because some of the groups in the Champions League, you're going to get top teams that drop down regardless. So it's definitely harder than last year. But what goes for us is the fact that we've got a manager that has pedigree in this competition, has won it three times. So we've got that going for us. He knows how to win this competition, so there's no reason why we can't.
Cool. All right, and guys, that has been the podcast show for this game. I don't even know how the England game's getting on tonight, actually.
No.
Still nil. Okay, cool.
Half time.
All right, guys. DJ, Colin, thank you both for joining me tonight, guys.
One last question, guys.
Go on.
What do you think of the rumor of Monreal to Barcelona in January?
That's never happening.
No, even to be honest, even I can't see that happening either.
Don't get me wrong. I love Monreal, but does he get in that Barcelona team? Nah.
Not at all.
Nah. Because thing is, right, and this is a point that me and my mates bring up quite a lot, right? If you're a top side, right, you have to hit this benchmark. Out of all the players in your starting 11, do they get anywhere near Bayern Munich's, Real Madrid's, or Barcelona's first team? If the answer is no, then you have to question what that player is doing in our side.
That's very, very true.
True.
I mean, you can look down our players. Like, does Petr Cech get into any of those three that I've mentioned? No.
Nope.
No. Wait.
Does Bellerin or Lichtsteiner get anywhere near those teams?
I would say Lichtsteiner 50-50. Bellerin probably not a chance.
Yeah.
Exactly. Does Socrates and Mustafi get anywhere near those teams?
No.
See, Socrates, I'm not too sure. But I doubt
Monreal doesn't. Xhaka gets nowhere near any of those three.
Okay.
I reckon probably Torreira probably Torreira could.
Torreira could, yes, I'll agree with that. Which is why he's good enough for this side.
Mm.
All right. Aubameyang definitely would.
Yeah, definitely 100%.
Ozil, no. Ramsey, no.
No.
Mickey, no.
Lacazette would.
Lacazette would.
Yes.
Lacazette would, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
So actually, out of the whole 11 players, we've probably said only about 3 of them that would probably get into the team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Out of those 3 clubs, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, 3 of our players get into that squad. 3.
Out of what, 23 players that we've got in our whole entire team?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing, because if you aim for that benchmark of being like competing with them clubs, you've got to look at your own 11 and think, does this player get into that 11? Does this player get into that 11? Because let's be real about it. That's what we were promised when we moved from Highbury.
True.
And if you can't picture more than 3 players in this side that get into that 11 or those 3 11s, then they shouldn't be there.
True.
Simple as that. Man United do the same thing. They measure like their 11 against those three clubs. There's certain players in that squad that aren't Man United level.
No.
Not even a little bit. Like Liverpool did that as well. You know, Chelsea do that. Man City do that. You want to be a top club, you've got to
be competing.
You've got to think of yourself as the best.
True.
If you don't, then what's the fucking point?
What's the point in even being a football player?
Exactly, man.
True.
All right, guys. All right, to wrap it up, guys. Thank you for joining me, guys. Colin, thank you very much, mate. I'll put your YouTube channel into my description. DJ, thank you very much for joining me tonight.
Yeah.
And hopefully, guys, you can be regulars on it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll make that
Colin, if you want, I am doing a Newcastle review as well. If you fancy joining that.
Yeah. Just drop me a DM with details, and we'll work something out, mate.
Yeah, cool. No worries. All right, and guys, thank you very much. Guys,
I'll
for
see
the
you
people
Friday,
that
Colin.
yeah.
Yep.
All right,
Colin,
guys, thank you. The people that have been watching the live stream, thank you very much for joining us tonight. I've been joined by myself, Colin, and with DJ. You can follow them on their Twitter and their YouTube pages. So, guys, until next time, we are out of here.